But I make no apology. I'd love to sue her for defamation.
I think it's embarrassing for Hila here to be like, this is so traumatic for the kids. You're trying to traumatize the children. It's like the vast majority of people are not remembering anything that happened to them at 3. It's just sympathy, right? It's just, she's just pulling like the IDF classic card.
Why don't you tell your wife too? She should be taking care of your kids too, both of y'all. Instead, you're posted up complaining about how you got CPS called and they're investigating you, homie. And you're posting on Instagram? Oh, I hope his kids get taken away from him.
Ethan Klein is back. We watched some of this yesterday, but we didn't watch any of the CPS stuff. We saw the Denim stuff. We're going to skip that tonight, but I do want to go into the CPS thing. So in case you guys aren't aware, people have called Child Protective Services on Ethan Klein. It was briefly touched on last night, but we basically skipped over it in lieu of covering other things. Allegedly, they've used allegations that the kids are like eating dog that's left in the disgusting, nasty house. They've called Ethan's pediatrician to speak to them as well. CPS is engaged, like they've gone to his house and looked around. It's kind of like the family equivalent of swatting. That's how I've been describing it. Where it's like, if you SWAT somebody, even if you have like an agreement and the police know like to come to your house or whatever, that there's like a solid chance something's gonna go wrong here. Not something's gonna go wrong, that nothing has gone wrong and it's just like a swatting incident. They still have to like open the door, take a look around, make sure everybody's okay. It's kind of the same thing with this. Like, even if they know the call is probably bogus, they still kind of have to go in there and make sure everything's okay, take a look around. And in this one, it's just like horrible attack on Ethan's family. So he's responding here. And I did notice there's like a lengthy segment where Hila gives her response to it as well. And I imagine for her, it's like Ethan's fighting these people, but like Hila is now being attacked as like a mother. She's been like slandered as a fucking child murderer, fucking IDF terrorist, and now they're slandering her as a bad mother who lets her kids fucking eat dog shit off the floor in their house. It's just a really disgusting situation all around. So we're gonna take a look at it now. We're gonna hear what they have to say and their initial response. Yeah, it's actually fucking brutal. And one more thing, we're gonna see a clip of it tonight.
On Nicholas DeOrio.
It appears this whole thing kind of got kickstarted by Ban Empanada and the streamers that reacted to it. That seems to be where this got started, from what I can tell. This is honestly disgusting. Yeah, I think it's fucking gross.
I forget what, he was part of some neo-Nazi gang that was actually responsible for like assassinating people.
A name and a face.
So that's what we've been through. Although I'll say this morning, we after all these years, still getting new experiences.
Dude, firsts are always great. What was the first this time, Ethan?
This morning we got a visit from Child Protective.
Oh, well, that's not a fun one. I would say that is not a fun one.
Services. Because,
like the levels of psychological warfare that we've reached for quote unquote not liking Hassan Piker. Not liking when he like engages with terrorism on his fucking stream and praises like musical terrorists. Yeah, dude, we gotta take his kids away. That's the only way we can engage with this. Oh, that's not
I told
good.
this story on the show.
What's the name of the guy? Keemstar
when we
Orbiter?
adopted Olive, she had Giardia.
Mr. Oreo.
A few weeks ago about how when we adopted Olive, she had Giardia. And then the next day, Sonny started having diarrhea, so we suspected he might have Giardia. Seeing as that he's an infant, he's crawling around, he's putting everything in his mouth, etc. Makes sense, right? It's obvious. So it turned into this whole...
By the way, I hadn't heard of what Giardia was until yesterday. Like, that is the first time I've ever even heard this word, this disease.
Snark narrative that our house is a mess. That there's dog shit everywhere, that Sonny is eating shit and getting Giardia, and that, you know, et cetera, et cetera. And, well, it culminated in somebody finally, an anonymous call went into them on the...
And, like, the person who submits the anonymous call did it in such a way where it sounded like it came from somebody who knew him personally. Like, I don't know, how could it be anonymous if it's coming from somebody that they think like knows Ethan.
Third, saying that
Like they impersonated a family friend or something.
they were somebody that works at the house,
Oh, I'm sorry, an employee.
and they wanted to report us because our kids are crawling around eating dog shit and getting viruses. And they were able to provide enough details because of what I said on the show to make it appear that it was somebody. He said, like, when he first showed up, he's like, it's
Like, this is like fucking insane behavior. This is absolute bed blob, fucking like like mentally raped behavior to watch a podcast and then call CPS pretending that you work for these people using information you learned from the podcast to make a fucking CPS call to try to get their kids removed from their house. Like, this is some like, I hope this guy gets sued to oblivion. Probably, well, obviously won't happen, but deserves like generational debt that his grandkids feel kind of behavior.
somebody that you know who made the report. And I'm like, no, okay. So I mean, they used. I mean, yeah, you could easily impersonate.
What's oh, sorry.
You're good. Go ahead.
What's truly like despicable to me is the fact that like you hear so often that CPS like that they're not always.
They're underfunded.
Yes, and also it always like seeps through the cracks for some reason.
Yeah.
And so the fact that they were so on it here, it's like that could have gone to a family that really needed it and a child that really needed to be saved. Like
I was pretty surprised. I mean,
Point is that CPS is super underfunded, so the fact that they were like got into this as quickly as they did, it obviously could have been. These are assets that could be distributed to more important places that are actually necessary, and they're being wasted on Ethan Klein because some Redditor has a grudge against them, and they're psychotic.
one anonymous call. I was like, that's all it takes. But I guess the thing is, he was like, it seemed we thought it was someone who.
I can't
who
imagine
you know.
how scary.
The guy was very nice. He was a very professional, a nice young guy, very nice. At first, he's not from our world. He doesn't understand. And I tried to explain, like, this is.
And yeah, you sound like a crazy person if like someone doesn't know internet stuff and you're like, no, you don't understand. There's like this Snark subreddit that is posting like crazy stuff about us, and we're YouTubers who run a podcast from our studio. And like, yeah, we did the Vape Nation video. If you've seen it a long time ago, like everyone just looks at you like, okay, dude, mental health facility. Your neighbor is gonna be Shelbo. You're gonna be. No, you're not married to Pokimane. Just get in the thing.
Part of this harassment campaign. We've been visited by the FBI. We've been swatted, this and that. And we talked for a while. He gets it, but there's certain things that I guess he has to do. So he looked all. I mean, you walked around with him. I was upset about the whole thing.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, chill with the fucking sniffs and chat. Mods, time him out for like 20 minutes. It's the fucking. He's got Tourette's, guys. He's got Tourette's every episode we've ever covered him. I get it. Yes, he has Tourette's.
I was very upset as well.
He
wanted to look at everything.
Well, the house is spotless.
He was checking the house and like, where do the dogs go potty? Because we heard that there's poop on the floor.
The house is spotless.
Our house is so clean.
And also we literally installed this huge outdoor. I don't know how.
Obviously, don't hit
like
people who are
outdoor,
asking questions, but if they're just posting sniff, give them a 20-minute break.
Area connected.
We
to
did
a doggy
like,
door.
yeah, because we live in an area where there are coyotes, and we did fence our house like really well. They don't really get in the backyard, but for our own peace of mind.
Yeah, we covered some of this a little bit yesterday. They literally have like an enclosure in their backyard so the animals can go into this area to like use the bathroom and shit. Right? It's not even their backyard. It's a subsect of their backyard dedicated for like where the animals can go to the bathroom.
We wouldn't let the dogs out unsupervised.
Hell no, in the middle of the night, especially if we're
especially in the middle of the night. So we set up a doggy door for them that once you exit it, you are in a totally enclosed, like a huge cage. It's not like a small cage. It's like a room.
Yeah,
I mean, everybody in our house is very privileged, including the dogs and the kids. So I showed him like, yeah, we take them out. They have a giant backyard, and then they even have this enclosure that we built just for them so they can go out safely at night. Then I showed him the kids' rooms, and he's like, oh yeah, lots of toys. And I'm like, yep, lots of toys. Then he wanted to see Sunny.
It's like actually so fucked up. Like, I don't think there's any way they actually lose their kids in this situation, this call. But like, it's crazy because people are like, oh, dude, Ethan Klein is being so mean or whatever. He's threatening to sue these random people online. And it's like, yeah, they're sending CPS to his fucking house. If they're allowed to be scared that their kids are going to get taken away, I think you guys should have to sweat off like 24 hours of thinking your life is over to a lawsuit. I think that's funny. I think that they deserve to be like sitting there thinking like, holy shit, dude, I might actually have like generational debt.
I went to show him Sunny, and he fucking woke up Sunny that was taking a nap.
He did on accident?
Not on purpose, but he wanted to take a look. And Sunny's like, they sense everything. Yeah. The babies can sense. And it's like, what the fuck is this stranger staring at me in my room? Mm-hmm. We looked at Sunny, then they wanted to talk to our nanny and ask questions. Who feeds the kids? Who takes care of them? Who takes them to school? And like...
What do you do when you get angry at your kids?
Yeah, what do you do
when a dog poops on the floor? And then the part that, in my opinion, crossed the line was like, so I'm going to visit your kids at school and ask them questions. And I says, you're not fucking doing that.
Yeah, that's the craziest part. So they went to the pediatrician. They want to visit the kids at school. What is Bunty? This is like not some 5-minute, let me just turn them away at the door type bullshit. This is like a whole fucking day of extreme embarrassment to the entire family in fucking public. Like, the school has to find out that fucking CPS is investigating their family because some Redditors are schizophrenic.
I mean, we both were like, that's not happening.
No.
You're not going.
Has it ever happened before? I don't know.
We're fine.
You are not doing that. So he agreed to...
I don't think anyone's done it like this before, no.
Come visit our house
next week
when the kids are at home, because he needs to fucking interview our kids.
And there are people here like, oh shit, CPS is involved at the school. And at that point, like, you're just branded a bad parent, like in their head.
As a matter of procedure.
But I was like, I really don't want you to create any bad memory here for them. Like, they are 5 and 3. They don't understand this shit. So I told him, if you want to come, and I'm going to tell...
Daddy-O5 had CPS called? Yeah, but Daddy-O5 actually was a fucking horrible monster to his kid. Like, no, I don't think they've used it as like a scare tactic before like this.
Them that you're our friend, and I'm going to be there, and you can ask them questions as our friend. We can do that, but like anything beyond that is not happening.
I do want to clarify that guy was very nice and understanding.
The guy was nice. I have no problem with the guy.
His job, you know, but like...
It's not related.
It's kind of hard to believe that one anonymous tip can result in this fucking...
One anonymous call.
Well, on the other hand, yeah, one anonymous poll has caused this. It's like really fucked up or whatever. One call or whatever. That's bad, whatever. But
what's
like...
the name of the guy, Keemstar Orbiter? Nick Oreo. Mr. Oreo.
In a perfect world, one call is what you need to like save somebody's life, you know? If people aren't abusing the fucking system, that one call might be the thing that's separating kids from like extremely dangerous situations. So it's cool if they're responding. It's just really shitty the way this is being handled.
This massive waste of time and resources from a vitally underfunded, understaffed, overworked department that does really important work.
I just saw Keffel's tweet.
But then you hear about stories, people that actually need the help and they don't get it.
That's what Olivia was saying, yeah.
So frequently.
Yeah, I mean, shit, I don't know. But I mean, at what...
One call from a first-hand experience. Well, that's probably why they were sitting there pretending to be somebody who worked for Ethan. So it would cause some sort of... like, it would push it forward. It would escalate the situation in a way that would actually cause harm.
Point is that like, and this is something, if you go on Reddit and you go on the Snarks, this is something...
Daddy-O5 was a specific case where the abuse was happening. This alleged abuse is clearly not... Yeah, I mean, there's no abuse. There's nothing here that would indicate that Ethan is an abusive father to his children. Absolutely nothing.
Something. And the new Snark that they all migrated to is completely unmoderated. This is something that this is a narrative that they've picked up and talk about all the time. And I just wonder at what point... I think Reddit...
Dude, I want all of the Snarkers to have to, like, merge with Kiwi Farms so they can be bullied into, like, cardiac arrest by the actual people who do this stuff every single day. Like, imagine if the Snarkers had to try to assimilate with Kiwi Farms and get bullied off the site. That would be extremely fucking funny.
It is just waiting for me to kill myself. I genuinely, I don't know what it takes. And I think if...
That is what it takes. Somebody eventually will do that. And then they'll be like, oh no, there's this phenomenon called Snark pages.
We had no idea.
And then the journalist will write about it.
The
and they'll
fucking
be like,
journalist, by the way.
Can you believe this phenomena of Snark pages?
The same people who are like, Ethan Klein is actually in a state of psychosis.
Yeah.
He says that no.
And it's weird because you see all this stuff with Reddit. It's like they're hitting all of these types of subreddits. Like they come out and they're swinging specifically on this type of shit. But there's just like protection for Ethan Klein and Destiny subreddits. It's extremely weird.
Nobody's ever been harassed like him in the history of the internet.
Like, Trisha just cried and bitched and moaned for like a week, and they took her whole Snark subreddit down. Why? Why was that effective? How did she do that?
And actually, I'm going to iterate...
Was Snark not banned? No. After the threats, they played, like, Cope and Seethe mauled mode, and they're like, we're going to get doxxed by Ethan Klein. He's going to fire up a website called, like, H3 Snark addresses and familymembers.com, or I don't know what they're fucking thinking. They're like, oh, Ethan Klein is going to individually dox every single one of us, so we have to private the thing during the ongoing, litigation allegation or whatever that he's going to sue. So they just moved to a different one, and then the new one is significantly worse. Like, it's actually like significantly more obvious that they're not doing anything to even moderate it.
The interview the mods of these Snark subreddits and also and characterize them as heroes.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know what to do. Like, at a certain point, I just really don't understand. Again, Trisha's subreddit was ruining her life, or the Snark one.
Yeah.
It was super toxic there, and she got it removed fairly easily.
You know what I would like to say, too, is that, like, if she actually cared about us and about other parents and children, she would tell her friends to back off. Because to me... a lot of these people are her fans. It started as Frenemies 3 for the people that remember.
That's what it was. You remember that? Way back in the day, there was a r/Frenemies 3. It was a whole subreddit that was trashing the fuck out of Ethan post like him and Trisha's content divorce. I forgot about that. I think we might have covered some of those posts way back in the day.
What's the
there
name
was
of
Frenemies,
the guy?
then there was
Keemstar
Frenemies
Orbiter?
2, then
Nick
Frenemies
Orio.
3
Mr.
was like the
Orio.
latest Snark page. Then it became
Shout out to Frenemies 12, by the way.
a rebrand to
that was a real one. They went
it
all the way
became
up to 12.
H3 Snark. And then Israel-Palestine happened, and they took this like, oh, okay, actually we can pretend that we actually care about Israel-Palestine, and that's our new cause. But I'm pretty sure a lot of those people are from Trisha's days, and then they also like combined with Hassan, so it became this like axis.
Yeah,
Stefan, that one was probably okay. I don't think that one was too nuclear.
I mean, before October 7th, it was like pretty much just a collective of really deranged.
They've mostly chilled out. We can kind of
weirdos that nobody took seriously.
Yeah.
And then after October 7th, it really took off. And it started going mainstream when people like Hassan and other people in the world started citing it and calling it out. And people like Adam McIntyre who are like, I respect Snark.
Yeah.
They're doing good work.
That's
And
exactly like
Ethan,
what's frustrating me with the whole internet right now is how everybody's such a hypocrite. And when they want, they can cite the Snark like some actual source. And then when it doesn't fit the narrative, then, you know, they'll say whatever. But yeah, I'll even ask Trisha, why don't you say something to your fans? I haven't seen her say anything, but I know how
I think
she
that
knows
what I'm
how it
seeing
feels.
here is
She
that
was
Hila's
saying-
extremely fed up that like all of her friends, these like supposed friends or even former friends, I guess, aren't engaging like positively at all with them at all anymore. Obviously, we're going to see some stuff here about like Anisa and Ian in this segment. It feels like, for the most part, all of the people that they have defended over the years are just kind of zipping up their mouth and not saying anything this time. Like, all of the people who are supposed to be their friends, they've got nothing to say about any of the shit that's happening. It's all of, like, Ethan's enemies that are critiquing this or even engaging with it at all whatsoever. It's like me, it's like Turkey Tom, it's Keemstar. Like, the whole Rogues gallery has had to, like, step up their game to even engage with this. Because all the normal, usual suspects that would go to defend Ethan are too afraid, or I guess too audience captured, or retarded. Maybe they're just retarded, but like they just will not criticize Hassan. They will not defend their friend. They will not disavow bad behavior. It's extremely embarrassing.
She was suicidal.
Yeah, that's yeah. I'm not exactly sure how she got hers down. I've heard it.
I mean, she was saying she was suicidal. Probably that's how.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not cynical enough to lie about being suicidal, like she is. But
they will lead a socialist revolution. Absolutely, yeah, 100%.
Point, it's like.
And I mean, when she was on the show, she talked about how she loved.
But Trisha and Moses are bad people, bro. We're gonna cover Trisha tonight. I fucking hate Trisha. I gotta be honest. I've always fucking hated Trisha, so you're speaking to the choir here.
Loves following the vlog squad and
That's true.
Following all their dramas, and she checks the Reddit all day long. I'm sure she does it with H3 Snark.
No, yeah, I'm sure that
I'm
her
sure
and
she
Moses,
does.
and
So
Moses
for everybody
especially.
that loves Trisha's new arc and loves to parade her.
Well, what I don't understand is
I'm sure that's what she does. She's on Snark every day, probably. If she actually didn't like what they were doing, she would tell something to her friends to stop it.
Well, I actually at first didn't even think that it was Trisha fans. I was like, this is too deranged. Like, it's been a long time. I doubt these are Trisha fans. It seems like too political.
Take it from me, somebody who's had like a rogues gallery pop up over the last fucking half decade. They start out as like one community, and then you start to pick up stragglers every time you fight with somebody. Every time you piss somebody off, a few more people start joining into the fucking the human centipede of fucking deranged haters. And then eventually it just becomes some large amalgamation of like the worst people from every community you've ever fought with before, who become like a dedicated hate audience. And this happens a lot.
And then through our research and our informants found out that the two main Snark...
Like, for example, Xylee Gets Real is a former Tonka Saw moderator. And you...
are Trisha mega fans.
Yeah, and that was a confirmation for me. I thought it was for a long time. I knew it was actually because I remember it was Frenemies 3. That's where it started. It originated from those people.
You're right about that.
We never had a Snark before. There was never such a thing.
Is this really lolly?
So,
and to anybody that has a problem with my opinion, that is my opinion. I'm entitled to my opinion based on my experience with Trisha.
I haven't seen Hila so vocal on this since like the start of the drama.
Star Orbiter, Nick Oreo, Mr. Oreo.
Like, Hila hasn't been on the front lines attacking Hassan at all, but it's like now her fucking kids are being dragged into this. Now her parenting is being dragged into this. Dude, Hila Klein has had to live the last month of her life being called a child murdering psychopathic IDF super soldier who neglects her children and lets them eat dog shit off the floor. Who makes cringe clothes as well. I guess that's one of them. It's just absolutely unhinged. And like, the thing is, these people aren't joking. They legitimately believe this. They legitimately believe that she was like an IDF child murdering, like, I don't know, dude. It's insane.
Enemies, and with everything and whatever the fuck I'm going through, that is my opinion. You can disagree. You can think whatever you want.
I don't think you said anything that bad. I mean, I accused her of lying about being infertile.
And I know that some people had opinions about that, and I think you're entitled to your opinion too.
Yeah, but
opinions are opinions.
I have a very
they're based on our personal experience and what we're going through.
I mean, listen, if you want someone's opinion about Trisha and Moses, I don't think there's anyone more informed to talk about them than me. But anyway, listen. The ironic part about it being Trisha fans is that they've really adopted the whole genocide narrative.
Yes.
They found that was like the most effective way.
And that's the next thing that drives me so crazy. Because like, if that's actually your cause, but you have no problem with Trisha and Moses, then what the fuck?
The shout out.
Can I get a quick recap who Trisha is? I came in on the 2024 season with Mama Max.
All right, Trisha Paytas is kind of like a long time tumor. Essentially, I think the first time I ever saw Trisha Paytas was in the 2009 Eminem Relapse We Made You music video where she played Jessica Simpson. If you don't believe me, look it up. That's definitely fucking her. All right, she'll show up in like a music video every so often and blind me like out of like I'm like, holy shit, dude, YouTube is back, dude. I'm literally watching fucking YouTube right now. She'll stun lock me in the middle of like the like a regular hobby. All of a sudden I'll just click it and holy shit, there's Trisha Paytas. Trisha Paytas is like unhinged. She cried on the floor a lot. She made the 100 layers of cum challenge. She was kind of a lol cow. If you look at Frenemies, it really was like the original. It's lol cow live, but like it's just Ethan Klein hoarding one of them, right? It's like a test bed for Keem's format of lol cow live, in my opinion, right? They kind of just brought this unhinged maniac on the stream and poked her a couple of times, and she'd say some funny stuff. Yeah, I think that's probably the best way to describe it. Frenemies was extremely funny, right? Kind of similar in the vein of what Lol Cow Live is, if you didn't have Boogie in there, who made all the drama kind of boring. What was some of the other highlights? She got hyper obsessed with Jews, right? She wanted to be a convert, and then she like on the way out when the podcast was starting to blow up, she married Ethan's brother-in-law, Moses, like Gila's brother, and blew up his family. So, yeah, there's a whole lot of bad blood and lore. We'll take a little bit more of a look at her later when we're watching the Rosanna Pansino stuff. But yeah, she left kind of a crater in the Klein family.
Fuck.
She's Snooki. Yeah, if you watch Jersey Shore, she reminds me of Snooki. You're 100% right. Glue Guns and Roses.
What the fuck? She showed up to our...
She does have a Jewish fetish. We went over this in a previous stream. It's definitely a fetish, okay? It is definitely a Jewish fetish.
Holiday dinner dressed in IDF costume? And you're okay with that?
I mean, she's also done stuff on video where she's like, we don't care about Palestinians. We're full Jew. We're full Israel all the way. And I mean, and you want to talk about Hila being a secretary? Moses was he was served in a combat position in the fucking Air Force.
And I don't have a problem with what he did.
No,
but you should apparently. That's my point. Apparently, you should have a problem. But you guys, some of you guys, a good portion of you are Trisha fans. So you just found a new cause to pretend that you care about.
Well, the unfortunate thing has been picked up now by Hassan.
People in my chat are saying it's not Trisha fans. Bro, I don't believe you. Trisha Paytas fans are some of the most delusional fucking people on the planet who pass judgment on other content creators when their content creator is literally the bottom of the barrel, has done anything / all, okay? Trisha Paytas has been in every single controversy over the last fucking decade. I personally don't believe you when you're saying anything.
And
that's my next problem.
Yeah.
Is that people...
A portion of them are, yeah. I wouldn't say all of them, but I would say that a portion are. And probably some of the early framework that went into creating H3 Snark were like deranged Trisha fans who were... And again, by Trisha fans, that could even mean people who deserted the podcast after after Frenemies ended. You have to understand, Ethan Klein has had like 3 mass exoduses. All right, he had the commentary exodus when everybody bailed after he stopped making videos. Then the early H3 podcast crash out was when Trisha Paytas broke off with Frenemies, right? After that, he lost another huge percentage of his audience and rebuilt it. Then he brings in Hassan Piker, puts a bunch of his fans and combines that and has like a fucking clout orgy going back and forth between them, intermingling their audiences. And now he's having his 3rd mass exodus from these collaborations. If there's one thing that Ethan Klein should learn from this entire thing, is to just do his fucking podcast and stop marrying other people, because he keeps losing tons of fans in the divorce or bringing in crazy fucking people during the marriage.
Like Hassan will cite the Snark like it's an actual source for something.
Yeah. No, they do.
I swear the whole world has gone crazy.
While simultaneously, Hassan's someone who's like, crying to live stream fails moderators to, you can't, I'm being harassed, you have to remove me, don't talk about me. The Reddit they're obsessed over me, and it's so unfair, and it's like, nobody gives a fuck. But someone like Adam especially, who's like on record being like,
oh my god, Adam McIntyre, biggest little rat fuck in the game. Holy shit. Did we watch it? You can probably find this on the channel. he like gun guarded insanely hard for Mika's rhetoric. The fucking woman who's like, oh my God, I'm so scared. I don't know how I'm gonna cover this video today. I'm trying to be a teacher. This is like the hardest thing I ever had to make in my life. Oh my God. It's just so difficult. Ethan Klein's fans are so vitriolic. I really want to be a teacher. Okay, so by the way, guys, I do have to cover this. Ethan Klein made people really upset when he showed them prolapsed assholes on his podcast. I don't know what we're gonna do about it, guys. We probably should have been a bit more critical of this back then. I don't know why he's got a prolapsed asshole thing going on. It's making people really uncomfortable. Oh God. And then Adam McIntyre is like, yes, queen, yes. And then he's clapping his hands like a fucking seal. Okay. Adam McIntyre sucks. Guy's a total fucking loser. All right. Content's fucking terrible.
Keemstar Orbiter.
Absolute waste of a fucking reaction. You'd get more mileage just watching her video than listening to anything that little rat fucking skinwalker has to say.
I respect Snark.
Adam McIntyre needs to just like disappear. That guy is a piece of shit, like of the lowest order. I never even stood by him when he talked bad about Trisha having a kid and called him like the spawn of Satan. He was supposedly on our side. I would never even co-sign that. I was disgusted by that statement too.
But now, by the way, the funniest fucking Trisha Paytas thing is that every time she has a kid, by the way, she's pregnant again, someone in the British royal family dies. You look this up, it keeps happening. Someone in the British royal family dies every time she conceives a child. So they're like, welcome back. Welcome back, queen. You've been reborn into Trisha Paytas' kid.
He's back on Trisha.
He's trying to buddy up.
Dude, there's 9 months for another person. Dude, is it going to be Meghan Markle? Who knows?
Yeah, now he's back on her side. But I remember when he called her kid a spawn of
King
Satan.
Charles will fall.
I never said anything
And I was supposed to be like,
dude, no, the Suits reunion. We need to save Meghan Markle.
hang on, but I wasn't going to cheer that on. That's disgusting.
Why do we forget that he called her children, which is something we would never do?
I like Meghan Markle. I don't know why people hate her. I just started watching Suits, and I didn't know who she was. And I found out the entire fucking internet hates her. And I'm afraid to look. I think she's great in Suits.
Never.
Satan.
What's the name of the guy?
And I mean,
Keemstar Orbiter.
it's just incredible who ends up being the good
Oreo.
guys in this story. You know, it's really something.
I honestly don't care
Welcome back, King Charles.
anymore. I really don't care about anybody and anything.
Oh God.
And yeah, it's an interesting place to be at mentally. But yeah, I'll talk shit about anybody.
Damn, Mila. Yeah, I'll come get you. Pop, pop.
I'll talk shit about anybody. Everybody's so two-faced, so shallow.
True.
In reality, they're so shallow, surface level. And yeah, that's where I really feel.
Yeah, friends like these.
Oh yeah,
Bro, we got an unironic friends like these who needs enemies. Holy shit, dude.
and our other good friends,
Yeah.
Anisa and Ian. Yeah.
Yo!
Thanks, Anisa, for standing up for your girl. I actually...
Bro! Fucking go off!
Ian. Yeah. Thanks, Anisa, for standing up for your girl. I actually stood up for you so many times, because, like, why would I not? It was crazy. It was crazy. People were shitting on you and Ian because you did OnlyFans. Of course I was going to stand by you. That's insane. It's absolutely insane and disgusting.
Shit!
But now...
Yo, and she's actually fucking spitting. These people are absolutely fucking cowards. I mentioned this yesterday, but, like, everyone's kind of starting to wake up to the gaslight, where people are like, hey, maybe people have a point. Maybe it has nothing to do with the fact that Ian won't say, like, the hard R anymore, and that Anisa does porn, because they're just kind of bad, pathetic people. They're kind of just, like, extremely egotistical charity fuck-ups who actually have, like, tons of negative qualities, and that they're constantly defended by just, like, gaslighting us into believing that they're only hated by absurd incel rage.
Oh, you choose
Oh,
to
and
hang...
boring. Worst of all, they're fucking boring.
What's the name of the guy? Keemstar Orbiter. Nick Oreo.
Worst of
Mr.
all, they're
Oreo.
boring! They're so fucking boring! Dude, every time I hear the word boring, I think of Az. That fucking clip, the fucking pronoun. They're so fucking boring.
Hang out with people that would have a problem with you if you defended me. So
the problem.
Okay, if you want to hang out with those people and have no spine and not
there's literally no more parties in LA. They lost all their friends, dude.
Up for another girl that stood up for you. Enjoy your new friends.
She's friends with people like Denims.
I know.
In her chat,
yeah.
Which I'll show.
Denims
is actually participating in this whole Child Protective Service lie.
Yeah.
Which I'll show you.
And we showed it yesterday in our fucking coverage that like she was consoling Frogan. After Frogan was like making violent statements, like fucking absurd fucking statements about the October 7th attacks, and Ethan unfollows her. All right. She threw up a tantrum and Ethan responded. Fucking Anisa went to Frogan's chat to console her.
The guy, Keemstar Orbiter, Nick Oreo, Mr. Oreo.
This is why I said what I did yesterday. It's nuts and I love watching the Kleins do this.
Thank you. Someone in the chat said, as Quagmire once said, yeah, I was thinking every time I hear that, it's like, and worst of all, you're just a bore.
Friends with them, then you're seeing what they're saying, right?
Oh, that Child Protective Service is even the worst thing. I mean, she said worse things about you and me.
Yeah.
And I just don't see how you can be my friend and also be friends with someone like that.
Well, you can't. So I already forgot about you.
Damn, bro. Friendship over. Whoa.
Anisa, we were texting before I ever talked about it. And I said, she's like, I don't care about this guy. He's a nobody. And, blah, blah, blah. And I said, well, then you'll have no problem publicly denouncing it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, the conversation ended.
She never replied.
Wow.
But it was so funny how...
And by the way, she's messaging this person day of on social media. Oh, he doesn't even work for Ethan anymore. Then you go check her account, like they're still talking. It's like, and by the way, during this whole thing, you could say like, oh, it's petty for Ethan to kind of drag her into it if she obviously didn't want to be involved. But then she starts subtweeting them on Instagram. Her and Ethan both were subtweeting, or like posting on their own respective Instagram stories. So it's like, I don't know. I mean, listen, Anisa is known to be extremely fucking passive aggressive. Anisa is also completely fucking unhinged. My group chat leaked one time. I think you're familiar with it. Have you heard of the Tea Party? It's a group chat where drama YouTubers talk about drama. Shocker. There's some overlap there. And our logs got leaked. And the only person who freaked out, like in the moment, who was like baited into caring about this, was Anisa. She just started lighting up Keemstar privately because people were insulting her in group chats like 6 months prior, and people were scrolling through it looking for screenshots. And Anisa took it so personally, she just lit up Keem's DMs immediately.
How she immediately went to comment everywhere, like on our subreddit. She immediately had to comment like, oh, he doesn't work with us anymore. But that was it. That's all she said.
But then say...
When was this? About a year ago, probably now. It's been forever. You can actually follow... You can find the full log. Xylee Gets Real went through the entire thing on her stream. They're called the Tea Party leaks.
Say that you don't
Okay. Do you have anything else to say for your friends, though?
Just say he doesn't. At least say something like he doesn't work for me, and I strongly disagree, and I support Ethan and Hila. The problem is
that she doesn't.
That's the problem.
That's the problem.
And by the way, they have done this for that. Like this, it's not like this is a one-way street. Like Ethan and Hila have done this for them in the past. So it's actually incredibly pathetic here. But again, the one thing that you learn online doing this, as long as I guess most of these people have, is that even though you're good to somebody, right? Even though you do the right thing and you help people out, you should never do it expecting them to help you out in the future, because most people, most YouTubers are extremely fucking self-serving. It's extremely difficult to expect any YouTuber to come back you up in any controversy. You should probably just focus on your response and your things, because anytime anything like this happens, you're lucky. Odds are you're never getting support from these people ever.
She actually...
She thinks they have a point.
That's the problem.
Yeah, so go fuck yourself.
I agree.
Who else? Who else do we want to burn today?
Well, I've already burned these ones, actually.
I know, you already did most of the work.
And again, we were talking about this yesterday. I'll mention it again. This fucking guy, the former editor who's popping off, the Creator Clash 2 editor, wasn't just saying like, oh, Ethan is a big poopy head. It wasn't the case of like when Ethan pulled that guy's shit up on stream because he said like, you're going to rot in hell for getting a tattoo. It was like attacking his dog, saying he let his dog die. He let his kids eat shit off the floor. Okay. Like his wife is corrupting him and forcing his like, and again, it's crazy to hear somebody who's friends with Ian and Anisa pull like the wife control arc. Right? You're not audience captured, you're wife captured. This is like the people who brought you iDubbbz saying that your wife has captured you and broken your brain. They've had to fight this rhetoric for like 4 fucking years, but the minute their back is up against the wall, they're swinging it around at other people. I mean, new iDubbbz fans are the worst.
I'm just
you're late to the game.
I'm just coming to enjoy the party.
See the flames.
Who is the old editor? It's like Froggy something. Burn.
I mean, yeah, this was kind of like a line, what happened today, that should never be crossed, even by like the most cynical, toxic people. And it's going to have ramifications in terms of...
It needs to. You got to send a fucking message out. Something's got to happen here.
How I conduct myself.
In terms of how I see other people.
In terms of these fair weather friends who are, so happy to be friends as long as they're getting something out of it. But as soon as it's like, it's so easy.
And again, I keep saying it again. One of the major things right now that's going on with Creator Clash is that Creator Clash has people who don't want to promote the event. Right? They didn't make any money on charity last year. They're banking on their friends to promote this event because Ian himself has said that he's like too much of a pussy to ask the people he's paying $20,000 to promote their fucking charity event. That's for fucking charity, right? These guys don't want to do the legwork. They don't want to plan the event. They push that off to other people. They don't want to manage their fighters. That's not. They're like moral support arbiters.
What's the name of the guy? Keemstar Orbiter, Nick Oreo, Mr. Oreo.
That's all they're doing on Creator Clash. They're putting the name on it and they're giving their fighters moral support. So one of the things that they really need is people who are willing to promote this event. And that's been Ethan Klein. And I believe even with Creator Clash 2, they've promoted it. In Creator Clash 2, they put in AB. And it's like, if you don't watch the H3 podcast, and if you're not like a niche commentary viewer, do you know who AB even is? No offense to AB. I think he's got like a 100K YouTube channel or something. But like, it's not like he's selling tickets. Let's be honest. Let's call a spade here. Now, in Creator Clash 3, well, it's Lena. And I think that there's a percentage of the audience watching who doesn't even know who Lena is. Lena is AB's wife, also another member of the H3 podcast. The reason these people are fighting is because the H3 podcast is popular. Right? That's what's selling the tickets. It's, let's check in with Lena. How is she doing? Because Ethan's way too old to fight. So they bring on some of the cameramen. They bring on some of the co-hosts to do these boxing matches. And now, if you're picking a fight with Ethan, or if you're going to like let this bridge burn with Ethan and Lena's on the card, well, none of the people are going to want to do business with you. None of the fans, none of the people who are watching from Ethan's community are going to want to buy those tickets. So this is like extremely weird. Whose wife? AB's wife, Star Killer. Yeah, Lena is the Lena's coming through to do, and I'm rooting for her. Listen, I know who Lena is. She's one of like the 3 people on the card that I actually know who she is. So I'm interested to see her fight, but I feel like that's not the average viewer. That's not their experience,
To be anti-racist. Everybody's anti-racist.
Mm-hmm. Lena is the poker champion based.
The worst thing in the world, right? We fucking hate racists. Fuck racists.
Microaggressions.
But I
mentioned this again yesterday that like I do feel specifically bad for AB and Lena because they're like the 2 Muslim people behind enemy lines. So they've been attacked extremely fucking hard by like the Hassan people over the course of this. Like if you look at some of the stuff that AB has gotten in his responses on his IG and shit, it's some of the most deplorable, disgusting shit that I've seen. Like those 2 employees of Ethan have probably got it harder than I imagine Dan and the other ones have.
Minute that they actually have to stick their neck out for somebody, the minute they have to actually risk something to put themselves in under scrutiny, to actually sacrifice something personally to stand up for racism, then all of a sudden it's like, hey, I don't want to get involved.
And that's drama.
How much do you care?
I don't do drama.
How much
Sorry.
do you actually care? Isn't that the whole point? Like, if you want to speak against racism,
and like these self-righteous assholes are sound like they're the type of people who'd be the first ones to step up and be like, oh, you're making content nuke Ethan Klein in 2020. Clearly you're an anti-Semite who's pandering to anti-Semites in their audience, because back then hating Jews wasn't as popular as it is in 2025. So yeah, yikes.
if you want to be that good person, that activist or whatever, like, isn't the whole point that you are saying difficult things, that you're taking the difficult stance? You're not it's not about going along with the crowd and being like, I hate racists, guys. Aren't we all the best? It's about actually fucking doing the right thing.
Doing something, saying something, defending your friends. Fuck the whole racism angle. Like, you don't want to take up stance on fucking racism? Fine, whatever. Do what your prerogative is on that. All right, but take a stand by your friends who have defended you, right? They've literally defended you from us. And again, I'm not really understanding the angle here. Whatever.
It's difficult to do.
Yeah.
I mean, go back to the civil rights. You think that the people who are like the white kids who are protesting with the black students, you think that they were just like not risking anything? Those kids who are marching with the black students and...
I mean, why is it inspiring? Why is it?
Yeah, I mean, at least say like, hey, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think that, like, I've met Ethan, I've seen him, I've been in his house plenty of times. They don't neglect their kids. You know, how hard is it to say that? You don't have to say, hey, I agree with everything that Ethan Klein has ever said and done. I am going to fucking stand by him until the end. That's not what anybody's asking for. But like, hey, I mean, listen, I've been to Ethan's house plenty of times. The kids aren't eating dog shit off the floor.
Inspiring.
Well, and it's the same thing, to bring it back to the song just because, but it kind of is the same thing.
Nick, are you saying you're racist? Yeah, dude, I hate the British people. That's why I'm like, that's why I said I own Chud Logic.
Like, I was thinking about going to Gaza until I found out it's dangerous.
Until I found out they don't have like a 5-star suite for me with private security waiting there.
I was guaranteed the presidential suite and they can't offer security. So now that I found out it's dangerous, I actually am not going. That is performative, and people are still applauding him. I mean, that's evidence. That's like the most tangible evidence that he's a total performative activist that doesn't give a single fuck about the cause. Otherwise, he'd go. He would show that he would go.
Like, people like Anisa are the perfect example because she's friends with these people. She's friends with Denims.
Yo!
Denims is streaming this story about our kid
I'll show that, yeah.
getting giardia from the dog, whatever. By the way, that's not what it was in the end. Ethan was just sharing his thoughts. What we were thinking, we were speculating. Like, humans.
Well, I'm very open about everything. It's part of what I decided a long time ago was an aspect of the show of how I wanted to conduct myself and how I wanted to relate to the audience, is to be open as possible about every fucking thing in my life. Mm-hmm. I bring it all to the table, right? That's just like how I decided to conduct this show, how I think it's interesting, and how I can relate to.
And you have to admit he's gotten a lot better at this. For the first 2 years of this podcast, it was just completely fucking unwatchable. Even if you go back like 2 years ago, I didn't think a lot of the jokes were hitting. I didn't really find it entertaining. But every time I've had to watch this podcast for like content, like go back to the tipster Keffels shit. Some of that stuff was really fucking entertaining. Watching them go after Keffels and go after Tipster. Like that was, and again, I think maybe, I don't know if Tipster would admit it, but I mean, he kind of got his fucking shit pushed in by Ethan.
To real people, Yeah. And that's part of what I do here every day, and that's part of what that story was when I was talking about how, although it's very obvious if you listen to me talking about it.
Well, to circle back to what I was saying, Anisa is a perfect example. She could tell those people, hey, you know what? That's too far. You should not say that. That's not okay. I've been to their house. Their house is clean.
Yeah, this is literally what I was saying. Like, you don't have to go to fight every fucking battle, but like, hey, I've been to their house. Their kids are not eating shit off the floor. The house is fucking clean, right? Like, that is not a lot to ask from your friend, right? That's not a lot to ask at all.
They treat their kids nice. I've seen them with their kids. She could say so much. And it would make her a little bit uncomfortable, right? It's not comfortable.
It shouldn't make you uncomfortable.
Yeah, just for
but
saying
that would be commendable.
Which kind of, and By the way, it kind of
that
speaks
dude.
for
These guys are so brain fucked from all their friends being pieces of shit. That is not. That's the bare minimum. That's the bare minimum on something like this.
That saying, "Hey, their house is claimed. They're, they're actually good people." Like that's gonna get you shit. That kind of says it all, doesn't it?
It does.
Like that's in my opinion doing something that's
Yes,
difficult and standing by your principles. That's the whole point. That's what makes standing by your
sticking up for your friends will make you uncomfortable. I guess maybe in like fucking LA YouTube land, that's too much to ask. I don't understand. Whatever.
Principles admirable is that it's not always easy. People want to stand by their principles. They want to be these heroic advocates, but they don't want to risk.
Or like having the decency to say like, hey, I'm retarded and I agree with Hassan Piker, so I won't be defending you on this one because I think you're like, dude, engage with it then. Tell them what the issue is. Like, give a reason as to why you're like being this pathetic, right? Like stand on something instead of just hiding.
Fucking anything. Hassan should go to Gaza. And if he doesn't, he should be severely judged by his audience for being a total fucking coward.
I mean, it's part of why I judge him. He doesn't know shit about that conflict.
Fuck, bro. Fuck these new weapons, dude.
He's never been to Gaza, never been to Israel. He doesn't know shit about it.
No, he doesn't.
He does not. But he talks like with such authority. Oh my God. You would think he's been there like 5 times since October 7th already.
You sound like someone that needs to talk to Sam Cedar.
Yeah, Sam Cedar, another one I'm ready to burn.
By the way, Sam Cedar agrees with me. I just saw a clip of him the other day being like, saying that he's two-state.
I don't know.
Two-state.
I was like, I agree with you because he also like protects Hassan at all costs.
Yeah,
so.
That's right. There's no.
Oh yeah, and I wanted to say another thing. People are saying this thing like Anisa ruined Ian. Like no.
That's pathetic.
Ian ruined Ian. Anisa ruined Anisa.
Dude, I have been a fucking firm believer of this. If you go back and watch my video, I think it's the Hypocrites one, where I go after this. I'm trying to explain to the audience, like fucking 5 years ago, this exact talking point. That there is like a delusional subsect of commentary fucking idiots who think that like a switch was flipped and that like the real iDubbbz is in there clawing to get out, right? Like he saw boobs and he was mind controlled by this woman. There is a subsect of the audience who thinks that like every wrong decision that iDubbbz has ever made, anything that Ian has ever done is exclusively because he got fucking dating this Anisa Jomha woman with the horrible tattoos. Okay? They're fucking delusional. They don't want to admit that iDubbbz just sucks now. They will go through hoops and like there are obviously contributing factors. Anisa is not like a fucking awesome person. Never has been. They're extremely criticizable things. I've criticized her plenty of times over the years, right? But there are people who are so delusional that they don't want to admit that the guy that they grew up watching is actually a total fucking loser. So they make every excuse to not put any blame on him for turning out this pathetic. When the reality is, he just sucks. And he sucked the entire time.
Ian ruined Ian. They're both adults.
I agree.
They make their own actions. Ian sucks for the same reason right now. He could say something
spineless.
He could say something.
It's so crazy to hear them arguing the shit that I said 5 years. It's awesome. I love it. But like
Nicholas DeOrio.
It's so fucking crazy.
Too. He has his own following.
Well, Ian knows us better than
mouth. He's been with us. He's seen us with our kids.
Spineless, actually.
He could say something too. So Anisa didn't ruin Ian. That's bullshit. Like don't start thinking like that. People say that about me sometimes.
Well, I thought it was ironic.
That's not how it works. They're adults.
I thought it was really ironic because we defended Anisa against these accusations that she's some corrupting force that
right, and I'm not going to change my mind on it. I'll still defend her on that.
Well, it's super chauvinistic.
I want to see like how close is this to the take that I literally said. That the dumbest fuck clip is that random time where she started talking about the Holocaust. Do you remember this? The clip where she's like, I mean, listen, I mean, the Holocaust was kind of bad, right? But like the Germans made like some pretty good medical advancements during that time. And So like it is bad, and all the stuff that happened is bad, but like we wouldn't have like medicine now if it wasn't for the Holocaust. Like she got like bit by the fucking conspiracy bug and just started blabbering on fucking Twitch about how the Holocaust had some upsides or whatever. And people were like, dude, she's a secret racist. And I'm like, no, she's retarded. No, you don't understand. She's literally just regurgitating some fucking conspiracy theory that she read and thought was real. I don't think she's fucking racist. She's actually just completely brain dead.
About, and
I've seen this happen so many times. I've seen that line of logic fucking explained so many times because people just read this shit on like before Instagram reels were ever a thing.
That's just super chauvinistic and
but
fucking
unlike
gross.
Hassan, I'm not gonna change my morals now because I'm not friends with her anymore. I'll still defend her on that. She did not ruin Ian. Ian can only ruin Ian.
Yes.
In regards to Ian and Anisa, I mean, obviously it's a weird situation.
I think there's like an Augie debate about this if you go back far enough on commentary aids, maybe.
For me, but you guys have obviously been friends a lot longer than I've known either party. But I just want to say, I do wonder if things would be different if they weren't stressed about the crater clash because of what happened last time.
I don't care.
Yeah.
But what happened last time, AB? What happened? Was it, Sam Hyde? Oh, the haters? Because I don't think that's the reason why you guys lost the money. It might have something to do with the galas and the attempted performance bonuses and the $20,000 of It's for Charity training money that some people aren't using to train. I'm sorry, but all of these problems are still theirs.
That's
I appreciate you are,
and that's not directed at you. So
But
I'm like
I understand.
fired up.
I completely understand.
At this point, I don't care about
I don't want it to seem like people will say now I yell at you.
Actually, I hear what you're saying, and I'm glad you said it.
Yeah.
From your point POV, our POV is like, fuck everybody, and I don't want to hear any excuses.
And again,
I know you
guys
don't.
have your own relationship.
Bro, nobody made these people host another charity event. I'm sorry, AB. I'm gonna have to disagree with you. There's no fucking reason the guys who fucked up Creator Clash get to just run it back and ever use that as an excuse ever again. Because nobody would be awarded another opportunity to redeem themselves after they lose fucking $250,000 in a charity that made $1 million the first time they did it. Okay? Nobody gets second chances like that. It's actually fucking unbelievable they still have fans to support this event. Or YouTubers to engage with it.
Saying that's
and not
Listen,
this is not directed at you.
They're
But if
very
this is something
nice.
that they would say, then I'll tell them I don't care because I have stress too. We all have stress. We all have shit going on. Always. There's always something happening.
Listen,
you react to Ethan the same way Asman reacts to Trump. No, I'm actually not retarded, and I know how to engage with the content that I'm watching. I'm not just like, whoa, that's pretty crazy right there. I'm not politically illiterate watching content. I'm pretty knowledgeable on these subjects.
they're very nice. They're very gracious, nice people that like we have a lot of memories with. Me and Ian have made a ton of content.
But the trade-off there is I don't have a room to clean every time I find myself in controversy. I don't have like a takeaway bag to throw out every time I say something racist by accident on stream.
Together, and people that I really consider my friend, and we would talk about private things. We would get together. We would go hang out at our house, go for meals and stuff, and like we were really friends. But at this point, there's no room in my life for halfway friends. There's just, or even 90% friends. It's just not happening anymore. When your friends are responsible for people calling Child Protective Services, and I'm not saying she did, but you'll see in the clip that she's
in the circle.
Absolutely encouraging it.
Doing it.
Yeah, then you're not my friend, and you never were, and you never will be. You never will be.
Good.
Yeah, but
anyone who's upset with me in chat, we're literally having a discussion about friends things.
Yeah, I don't think AB did anything wrong. I think he's just trying to explain it. I don't think he's like guarding.
Be upset at AB. Don't be. It's like it's actually a good point that you bring up because maybe that's something they'll try to say tomorrow when we're not live. So we get to address it now.
I love when I think it's really valuable.
The thing is, like, I really do think there's a high percentage chance here that right now we're at like a DEF CON. I don't know which is bigger, 1 or 5. I always get it mixed up because 5 and zombies was the opposite. We're at like a low level feud right now between Anisa and Ian. Like, Anisa's just kind of subtweeting. They did this one segment right now. One is the low one. We're at kind of a low one. And then it can only just kind of expand from there, right? If Ian and Anisa say fucking anything at all, I legitimately think that, like, the next H3 podcast will be watching a documentary on why Creator Clash 2 failed. I really do think that's what's going to happen. I think if Ethan is provoked even slightly, he's going to do a full stream retrospective of why these guys shouldn't do charity. That's my guess. That's how I'd approach this personally. I think that is like, they're kind of in a Cuban Missile Crisis here, where like any wrong move will result in the charity event being completely targeted. And it should be. I think that more people should be like explaining how crazy it is that they're running this. They'll watch the Bo Black. Now, the Bo Black's video is kind of like a little much. I don't know.
People, I hate that I always have to explain this, and I hope that there comes a day when we don't, but
I know.
This is the internet. When people play devil's advocate on the show, like Dan specifically does it a lot, it's because he is actually evil. He is the devil.
Over there.
It actually, facilitates really valuable conversations where I can interface with the arguments that people are going to say when the show ends, and I can fucking talk, I can flesh out my ideas now and don't have to deal with it like after the fact. You know, it's a good thing.
It makes the conversation better, actually. Like it enriches the conversation because, like Ethan said, it's something that somebody will eventually say. So we get to talk about it now before they say it.
I need to emphasize, and I guess I'll continue emphasizing, we are all... everyone in this room is the good guy. There's no fucking like, I can't believe he said this. Like we're all, I promise you that everybody here in this room, in this studio, is a good person. They're on the good.
All right, listen, Ethan. Nobody says, no, the good guy never stops the show to say how good they are, just to be clear, okay? That's not something that usually happens. Oh, man.
They're not, you know what I mean? They're not whatever it is you think they're doing, or whoever you think they're loyal to, or whatever. Like, trust me, these are all good people here, and they're all doing the right thing. And that's just the end of the conversation.
Like I said, this is, you guys know your guys' relationship. I don't know. I only know both parties because of you guys. But yeah, it just makes me sad. When I was with them a couple weeks ago at the event, they were asking about you guys, seeing how you're doing, and then
dude, there's like there's a soldier behind enemy lines. Like, that would be so funny, dude.
Guys were donating.
Look at Papa Guts' title right now. I saw Papa Guts fired up a stream, and it's like, I am the one who called Child Protective Services
to the charity. It's so.
I know, it's just like saying it only privately, but nothing publicly is just not gonna cut it for me right now, unfortunately.
He's just like screaming at the screen, just do something.
If you can't show support for me publicly, then it tells me there's a problem with you and your crowd. Like, if your crowd is the kind of crowd that will not hang with you.
Yeah, then you're too audience captured or you're malicious. I can't tell which.
Because you'll show support to me.
Nicholas DeOrio.
Listen, there's a lot of people,
I'll be fine without you.
There's a lot of people that support us, but they won't say anything because they don't want to deal with the ramifications of what can only be described as like the most organized, malicious harassment campaign I've ever seen. And I know that there's some journalists at fucking Slate that's gonna say that I need a psych eval for saying that or something. But if that, it'd be nice if they actually even asked me a question. I could kind of or just watch the show. I don't know.
That's
so
funny.
With all that being said, I'm wondering if there's anything else to say before we watch this Denims clip.
Well, we should watch it because I feel like I'm already referencing it so much because, yeah.
I just want to say, I know it doesn't need to be said, but you guys are truly the best parents I think I've ever seen. I know clearly this doesn't need to be said.
Dude, Amy's like, you guys are great parents. I don't want the smoke.
But
listen. Thank you. I appreciate you saying that.
Thank you. Gun to your head. I appreciate this.
I think we're good parents. But even if we're not good parents, we're not, even in like the most cynical fucking paranoid delusions.
You're not parents like that. You're not like harming your kids.
Not like calling Child Protective Services bad. Like even the dumbest, most malicious snarker knows that.
Yeah,
they know that.
No, but they want it to be the case. They want kids to be harmed so it can impact your life. That's what they're rooting for. They want these children to be fucking. Oh man, are they gonna say Ethan's on coke now? Probably.
Right.
And while this whole thing is going on, Bo Blacks is just sitting in the background, horrified.
Yeah. And
all right, guys, let's go through this now. We got some more shit to go through. That was kind of the main thing we were watching, but Ethan posts on IG that his kid never had Giardia and denied that and denies pediatrician making the call, pointing out that Reddit is rejecting his report on Snark posts. So this is we're gonna pull up this whole post in a minute, right? It was most likely the pediatrician who called CPS. Absolutely unhinged thing on the pseudo Snark Reddit, the smaller one, the temp Snark Reddit that they're running right now. Which, by the way, again, if we're arguing that there's some sort of Reddit thing going on, and that people are let me see, do we have any of these from the actual Snark subreddit? Yeah, we do. If we're arguing right now that there's some sort of Reddit intervention preventing these things from getting banned, dude, look at this shit, right? The subreddits are just like intentionally done to try to make them look similar. It's just H3H3 Productions with an underscore. Like the Hassan Piker one with an underscore got banned. The Hassan Piker one that used the Snark subreddit as like a template, that one got banned. Now they're using the same fucking name with the underscore and this one stays up. There's some weird shit going on at Reddit, and I think it's crazy not to acknowledge the possibility that there's some like fucking rogue employee going crazy, like going nuts. So this is Ethan dropping business right here. 1, CPS spoke with his pediatrician. 2, tests show that Sonny's pediatrician ordered, and showed that he never had Giardia. 3, you don't need to literally eat shit to get it. You can get it from surfaces. If Olive's fucking butt brushed the floor, even with a clean butt, it could spread across floor surfaces. Regardless, he didn't even have it. And then he says, please report this post. Please report the entire subreddit. Reddit continues to allow and enable unmoderated subs to target my children for real-life harassment. They're trying to get my kids taken away. Reddit does nothing. And I heard Chud say it this morning, and I'll say it too. Normally, this is not something that I would agree with. But, like, fuck it. Yeah. He's 100% right. I am not going to criticize this at all whatsoever. They're fucking attacking his kids. They're sending CPS to his house. Fucking, oh no, he's mass reporting them. Good. Who cares? These fucking people deserve it. It's only their Reddit account, okay? They're not dude, fuck them. Yeah, I have no fucking problem with this behavior. I don't think this is out of line at all. Reddit is rejecting reports. Thank you for submitting a report to the Reddit admin team. After investigating, we found this that the reported content does not violate Reddit's rules. So yeah, he's not getting any help from Reddit. Thanks for submitting reports to the team. This content has already been investigated. After investigating, we found that they're like duplicate. They're going through and checking out these reports multiple times and going like, nah, we already said it's good. Let them through. Let my people speak. I think this is fucking unhinged. And again, if there is no Reddit employee who's like gone crazy, the way these snarkers have been acting, it's like they're going out of their way to try to make a case for Ethan to make him look more sympathetic, right? People are pointing out, hey, Ethan, I think this lawsuit is kind of unhinged. These guys are just, they're just making fun of you, man. They're just covering your stuff. Oh, you're DMCAing people. That's not good for fair use. And he's like, no, these people are unhinged. They're attacking my family. They're slandering me in the media. They're corroborating what other things. Everyone's like, all right, Ethan, you're a little out of pocket right now. You're a little unhinged right now, Ethan. You're going a little crazy. And what do? They call CPS. Oh, well, all right. Let's start to relitigate that previous opinion there, because it's starting to look like he might have a point, doesn't it? It's all unhinged till the moment it stops being unhinged. And then the thread continues. He also calls out Denims. Denims says it's okay to call CPS because kids don't form memories. We have this clip queued up. We're going to check it out in a second. Denims denies having any role in CPS being called. I think it's very bizarre to try to blame me. You'd rather spend your time editing a video that was unbelievably poor taste instead of spending time with your fucking family.
But yeah, they're saying that like apparently the call was from someone who knew them, or at least the CPS agents that ended up showing up said that. I think it's very bizarre for him to try and blame me, even remotely. I know he's tried to blame me and like Trisha Paytas for this as well, which is
anybody who's encouraging them to call CPS on his fucking family deserves all of the hate. They deserve like they deserve fearing generational debt. Okay, that's my position on this. I think they should have to I don't think Ethan's filing any of these lawsuits. I'd be very surprised if he does. At this point, I don't think he's doing it. But I think these people deserve to fucking sweat and call up some fucking law student and ask them, am I gonna be okay here? Dude, he doesn't have a case, does he? Start making some fucking calls to see if you have enough money to even fund a law. Dude, I think they should have to sweat a little. I don't think he's actually filing. We'll readjust the position if he actually does and who he files on.
Very bizarre, because I've never mentioned CPS once. I'm pretty like strongly against CPS because it's so underfunded and there aren't enough homes for people. I've never said to do this. I in fact say the complete opposite, which is like, don't tap the glass. Don't waste your time going and
don't touch the poo.
Responding or commenting.
You can't say don't touch the poo because the allegation here is that they were eating poo.
Commenting or even doing any of this shit.
Yeah.
Enjoy yourself.
So then why make comments about it if you don't want people to waste the already underfunded department's time? It's almost like she hasn't thought this one through.
This stream, we can all point and laugh at the guy who looks like an insane person. And then we can go on about our lives.
Dude, why is the fucking loading bar covering the content?
It's a waste of your time.
There
if
we
you want
go.
to go bother someone, if you want to call and get something done, call your local representative. Call your local politicians.
All right, that's it. I'm calling Joey Salads. Congressman Joey Salads, why have you not arrested Ethan Klein yet? I am calling my congressman and demanding that he takes away Ethan Klein's kids. That's it, Denims. You're right. You're absolutely fucking right. That's the only thing we can do.
They're literally public servants. They are there to listen.
Do you remember when Joey Salads was running for like fucking New York district something or whatever? Like he was.
Do you complain to them?
He lost by a lot.
They're there to.
We gotta get Donald Trump on the phone, guys. If we can get Donald Trump to say "Free Palestine," all right?
Listen to you say, "I hate everything that you do. You suck at your job. Why the fuck are you in support of these bills? Why the fuck aren't you in support of these ones?" That's what they're there for. So if you're gonna spend your time being a hater, you should do it to your local politicians. And again, I've always said that. You can look back like years at this point. That's the only type of action that I've ever told people to engage in. Mostly, again...
Yeah, notice she changed her shirt the next day after the stream.
Because I think it's a waste of your guys' time.
Listen, dude, I think Ethan should sue the fuck out of you, but not for money, okay? I stand by what I said. I think he should sue you, and you should have to hand over every single one of your push-up bras, okay? All of them. He's got to take them all right? I don't care what he does with them. You could burn them. You could donate them to charity, all right? You just can't have them. And you're barred from purchasing push-up bras for fucking 24 months. That's your punishment. That's your punishment for the crime. Get rid of all the push-up bras, and you can't buy them.
Like going and leaving a hate comment or whatever, or giving a fuck about what...
Give him all the Shelbo.
This guy does. In fact...
Shelbo can make a tent out of them and live in the fucking wilderness.
This is why people are very uncharitable in general. It's because when you are charitable, nobody notices.
Yo, wait. Guys, the courts have determined that the Denims and Frogan need to swap wardrobes for 6 months.
I've said multiple times, I'm not going to ever comment on whether or not I think that this guy, Ethan Klein, is a good father or like his relationship with his family. What I will say is it's very loser behavior to have a wife and kids and spend all your time in the editing dungeon. That's just pathetic. That's a comment on you being a pathetic loser. That you would rather spend your time editing a video that is in unbelievably poor taste, is just not well researched.
Is this the content nuke? The unbelievably poor taste video of playing Hassan Piker saying pro-terrorist propaganda?
Just very pathetic overall. Instead of spending time
Instead of spending time with your children, bro, what do you think puts the food on the table, you stupid bitch? How do you think those fucking kids that you love so much, that you love fucking moral effing about and fucking concern trolling about, how do you think their college is getting paid for, you fucking moron? How do you think the roof over their head and the floors that aren't covered in shit, how do you think the fucking money to clean the floor, where are they getting that from, Denims? Oh wait, it's from his job. Yes! You know that thing where when he edits videos, posts them online, films a podcast? Oh, it's his job! Okay, yeah, that's how that works.
With your fucking family and being like, actually, I don't give a fuck about this drama. That's just you being a loser. That's just you being an internet degen loser.
You sit on stream and react to people's content all fucking day. You have no fucking stones to throw.
And if anything, honestly, with the way that this guy simps for his wife, I believe that he's a great dad. I believe that
Where's your husband, Denims?
His kids ask him for whatever he wants or whatever they want and he just gives it to them. Have you seen how hard this guy fucking just gives Hila whatever she wants? He literally doesn't fight her on anything. This guy's probably a great...
Dude, they're actually doing this. They're literally neo-iDubsing her. They're actually...
Is Dark EU a virgin? No, I am not.
I'm seeing it happen in real time. Dude, that? All the people who called us psychotic incels.
Why blaming me. Person who literally echoed the unsubstantiated claims that Ethan is a neglectful father, husband, and lets his kids get sick from eating dog shit.
I'm losing my fucking mind right now. I'm watching the people who fucking called us crazy incel losers for critiquing anything iDubbbz for the last fucking half decade, and they're turning around being like, Hila Klein ruined her husband. Ethan was a strong soldier for the left until the IDF super soldier child murderer convinced him to fucking hate Palestinian babies. That's clearly what's happening.
Great dad. He probably cares the most about his kids and his wife above all else.
I hope everyone is having a lovely day.
What's the name of the guy? Keemstar Orbiter? Nick Oreo. Mr. Oreo.
It's crazy how Denims, a Hassan waiting room who, probably, believes that no one should bully a person for their appearance and mental health, really loves throwing the word, Ethan is mentally ill, like she's mudslinging.
Yeah, I know. It sounds like she's on this fucking stream. Like, I do this all the time. No one's gonna bat an eye when I do it, but you're supposed to be better than me because you prance around acting like it all the time, but you're not.
About me in general.
Denim said she won't back down even if Ethan continues to bully her. Why? Because your audience is fucking audience captured, and that's the only thing you can talk about.
Me in general? One, because like Arab...
This is your profit. You're pandering to Hassan's waiting room. Wow, guys. Look, Denims is taking one for the team and talking about the most popular Hassan-centric topic as a Hassan waiting room content creator who has no actual income coming in from being anything other than Hassan's fucking bottom bitch.
2, because woman. 3, because I won't just fold. Because he's trying to bully me. I'm not going to just fold and be like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm never going to say anything mean again. Sorry. I'm sorry. I don't play that game. And I think it's pissed him off enough that he's now trying to connect me to the CPS thing, even though I was gone. I didn't stream for 3 days when this happened. And the stream prior
and
to
this
that,
is so funny. I saw this on H3 Reddit. Denim's chat a week ago spamming call CPS.
And Denims host this and see what she... Now we wonder why people are calling Child Protective Services.
But they called it before I even did this stream.
He lets his dogs shit all over his mansion.
Look, it's Bad Empanada!
Just leaves the shit on the floor, something that is probably related to the fact that his former housekeeper is suing him for a number of different reasons. So I would assume he doesn't actually have a housekeeper anymore, or perhaps he lost his extra housekeeper. So now the house is just like covered in dog shit. And he has kids, and his kids like crawl into the dog shit, and God forbid, I don't know what they do with it. I don't know if they eat it, or if it's just from like contact with it with their hands or something, but they contracted a parasite that I had previously never heard of in my life called Giardia from the dog shit that is all over.
This is crazy.
Dude, how is it that like...
Is this true? Uncritical autism. Is this true, guys? Chat, can we look up the... Did his kids really eat shit off the floor?
I look into what Ethan Klein's been up to, and every time I manage to find more and more terrible shit. This is where Ethan tells a story about his family getting
We
Giardia.
already have mold Mondays. Now we have shit Saturdays.
Also, this is not a joking matter, by the way. It can be very severe and deadly to small children. I mean, much like many other illnesses, it's very, very, very dangerous when infants get the same sicknesses that adults get. There are lots of things that you can get as an adult. You're totally fine. You'll be A-okay. No problem. A child, a small infant that has no immune system, shouldn't be catching anything.
No.
So you're just like pushing the unverified claims, giving your like retarded input while your whole chat is spamming call CPS.
One day his house is covered
I
in
can't
dog
imagine why this could possibly be getting linked back to you.
shit. And his neglected children raised by nannies have contracted parasites previously unknown to science from the feces.
Just uncritically playing the psychopath's video too.
I wonder why he skipped over all of this, because everything that he said, everything that I said in this story, which by the way was apparently compiled by his crew.
Hey, I'm just curious, did Denims watch the video that this psychopath made on Hassan? Recently, Bad and Banana made a video attacking Hassan, so I'm just curious, did that one get covered on the channel?
No wonder this motherfucker is always sick. Yeah. Yeah. It all makes sense now. It all makes sense now. It makes sense why he doesn't care about Palestinian children when he is neglecting his own. How is this happening? How is it happening? How is this happening?
Great. So, yeah, again, I don't really think she has a leg to stand on here.
What's the name of the guy?
Probably not
Keemstar
defamation. I don't think they could get her for
Mr.
defamation. But, like, I totally understand why they're fucking mad at her.
Make any comments about CPS? Like, I have nothing to do with this.
Does Ethan have that clip with the chat? That's from his subreddit, so if he doesn't have it, he'll get it soon. It was posted 4 minutes before I went live, so it's pretty recent.
I think you're just trying to pin this on the people you don't like because you can, which is
yeah. No, I'm sure some other person, other third party, just happened to call in a CPS complaint, pretending to be someone who works with him. Yeah, no, this is a total coincidence. You're getting blamed for his own actions, obviously.
Very bizarre. Very
like someone just happened to be calling CPS this week and it just kind of looked weird, I guess.
Insane stuff. And I think I'll play the clip. I'll play the clip.
Yeah, it's just totally unrelated, guys. Big shocker. Denims brings out the foolproof logic. Oh, this one's great. I'm going to show you this. This one's great. Here we go. Oh, I thought the clip hadn't started yet, but she was like, she was still loading. Not the clip, just her.
Create any bad memory for them. You're not forming memories at 3 years old, and it's very, very...
That was like her big contribution. You're creating bad memories for the children. No, retard. Actually, 3-year-olds aren't making memories, okay? So it's totally fine if CPS comes to the fucking house. Holy shit, dude. What a fucking... Dude, she's keeping the Twitch bimbo aesthetic alive.
That you're forming memories at 5 years old.
What a fucking crazy thing to say. Is she unpaused? What's happening?
Nah, yes, you are. No.
Oh my god, dude, she was unpaused. What the fuck? She's moving.
Yes, no, you're not.
Yeah, they overclocked her processor there. She's lagging.
When we're talking about being able to remember, being able to recall memories, it's like 4 is the cutoff. But even if you are forming any memories at 4,
who the fuck knows this information off the top of their head?
15. You have maybe 1 or 2 memories.
Dude, I used to think that I had a memory of falling off of a cruise ship when I was like a child. And it always stuck with me. And I don't know if it's something that I created in my head or if it was like, I always thought of like, I thought like reincarnation was real because when I was like 4 years old, I could remember falling off of a cruise ship as a fully grown adult. All right. This was some crazy shit. I really thought this was a thing, like my entire growing up times before I realized I probably just created this memory on purpose. Could you imagine, dude? Like you die, you fucking become a child, and then you just like you have a memory of your previous death. Casual lore drop? I don't know. Dude, I have to do something in all these segments where she's not talking.
So everyone in chat here has a collection, like 50 plus memories of when they were
It's a
3 years
cycle,
old.
you're trapped. That's how I'm gonna die. I saw my death. I'm gonna die falling off of a cruise ship. I can never go on a cruise. All right, come on, Denims, please talk. Can you clip the dead air if you're gonna post these?
Here, we'll look it up.
No, we're not gonna wait for her to start typing shit. Why is this clip a minute 44? Bro, when did she start talking? Was that it?
I have a few memories from when I was 2, 3, and 4.
Bro, I don't think you have memories from 2 days ago, you fucking dumb asshole. You probably don't even remember what you had for breakfast this morning. Don't fucking talk.
You think that the reason why this happened is because you're talking about your kids contracting Giardia? Maybe you should stop talking
Yeah,
about
she's sitting here. She can't even fucking form a sentence. Being like, I remember shit from when I was 3. It's like, yeah, I believe you.
your children on stream in that way.
The helium escape valve is like lodged in the side of her head, like in one of Ethan's dive watches. Any second, Denims. Any fucking second.
I hold the parents accountable for that.
What? Wait, what? What? Hold on. Wait, I'm sorry. I have to go back. I don't know what she said in the beginning.
I hold the parents accountable.
For what?
For that.
For what? Is that it? That's the...
Think that the reason why this happened is because you're talking about your kids contracting Giardia. Maybe you should stop talking about your children.
Bro, you're writing like a fan fiction about some clip that you saw on a podcast and calling CPS, and you're blaming the fucking victims? Holy shit, dude. Oh, God. Denims looks like a sunburned turtle wrapped in shoe leather. I don't agree with that comment for YouTube TOS purposes. Denims chat a week ago saying someone should call CPS on Ethan. Is this still up? Let me see. Oh, wow. This post blew up. This had 4 likes when I was checking it out. Imagine unironically taking Bad Empanada's words at face value. This is exactly the kind of clip Ethan was asking for on Friday's show. OP, if you haven't already messaged the mods. Link to the chat messages. How did you get such a long vertical resolution? Or do you have a high-res monitor? They probably spliced together images. Right? I clipped some of the chat messages in the CPS and child neglect from this video, so there's a source on it. Previously unknown to science is when Bad Empanada doesn't know what it is. Oh, this one's fucking brutal, chat. Stand back and stand by. This one is fucking brutal. Just give it a second. All right, listen. Turn off the screen for like 3 seconds if you don't want to get flashbanged, all right? If you don't want to get flashbanged, I'll tell you when it's safe. You can come back out. But for the soldiers among us, for the fucking soldiers among us who want to watch this right now, all right? Part 1, the post. So this is a post from the H3 Snark, the current subreddit, the temp one. Gila and the crew. Ethan is clearly not well. This is not a snark. We're genuinely concerned. Why are none of you stepping in to help? You know that we didn't call CPS. Reddit knows that you have it wrong. Why do you think the snark is... Why do you think your snarker gone? Ethan threatens suicide live. Take a break and stop this. So this is the person, Ginger Sare Bear. And this is their post history that they willingly post online. Pits for Piker! Yas, queen! Pits for Piker! Guys, pits for Piker, chat! Woo! Woo! So... obviously, the post gets posted on here, and then Foxy Moy. I didn't know what this Foxy Moy subreddit was, but it's one of the ones that Ethan has a huge problem with, right? This can't possibly be legal, right? This is wildly inappropriate, if not straight up illegal. At this point, can't she sue him? For what? Posting her pits for Piker on Maine? I'm sorry, dude. I'm so fucking sorry. This is exactly what I was saying with like Ethan going through the previous person's messages. Like, if it was warranted, nobody would care. Dude, he cycled through this bitch's post history and found like a horrible fucking picture of her that she posted herself. And everyone's like, yes, King, you got this. You're doing good. Like, this isn't some like, oh, you should go to hell type shit. Now, when it's his kids involved, everyone's like, yeah,
what's
fuck
the name
that
of
bitch.
The guy, Keemstar Orbiter?
Yeah, dude, the rancid person, they censored everything but the pits, dude. Holy shit. Bro, they're self-reporting so hard. Ethan said nothing about her looks. Yikes. Her public post about her face is somehow doxing. I'm sure the poster on whatever was either a brand new account or heavily in Snark. I have a hard time believing that she's getting death threats. No one cares about her enough to send her a death threat. I'm getting death threats. Well, that's pretty serious. Maybe you should name and shame these people. No, I'm good. Her public post on Hassan's sub is not doxing. Oh my god. Update, I've been banned. Reporting false accusations to CPS is okay, but sharing a public social media pic is boring. It wasn't boring. It's fucking illegal. Ela Klein has a request. Ela did post this. We've been getting harassed lately in ways that we've never experienced before. They called Child Protective Services on our house yesterday, and they are now performing an investigation. If you know a reporter that's willing to cover the topic of online harassment and Reddit Snark pages, please let me know. This has already crossed all lines of what's okay, and I just wish someone would take this seriously. We've been talking about this on our podcast for years now, and like no one hears us. Ethan and I are two very strong individuals. We'll be okay, but I worry for others in this situation. It could end in suicide. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Somewhere, somehow, that fucking guy, Stephen A. Sarch's ears just perked up, okay? He just went, oh, and he's putting on his Pokemon fucking button-down t-shirt, and he's like, I'm the man for the job, okay? We're gonna do this on Rolling Stone, okay? If there's one fucking thing that I can give Ethan and Ela as a word of advice, it's don't let Stephen A. Sarch write your fucking article. Okay? Do not let Stephen A. Sarch be in control of this fucking article. If there's one thing I can get through you, any other journalist, except Cat 10 Barge, not Cat 10 Barge and not Stephen A. Sarch, any other journalist, okay? You'll be fine. All right? For those who know, okay? For those who know, and this is the fucking post we were looking at before by clearly some unwashed ass. It was most likely their pediatrician who called CPS has obviously been debunked. Hi, mandatory reporter here. Okay, again, you're not a mandatory reporter. You're a subreddit fucking shitter, okay? You're not a mandatory reporter because you watched a podcast, you fucking self-inserting retard. Just hopped on to give my cracked out perspective on H3's whole, my kids have a parasite that you only get from eating feces, which is not true either. Why are people saying that I'm a shitty parent situation? Pediatricians and teachers and school staff workers are all mandated reporters, meaning that you have enough reasonable information that leads you to believe a child's safety is in danger. You must call CPS before anything happens. So if a kid is visibly disheveled, injured, or ill due to neglected environments at home, you make the call because if anything happens to that kid, it'll stay on your conscience forever. Oh, this is like fucking psychotic. Ethan brought his son who contracted fucking Giardia, a disease you only get from eating shit, to his pediatrician, a mandatory reporter. He doesn't think it was that pediatrician who called CPS after he heard the kid was sick after crawling and eating dog shit. It doesn't make any sense to him, but the doctor probably lied and reassured Ethan that getting a disease from eating shit is something all kids get before immediately calling CPS the minute the crackhead left. Now he's a crackhead, chat. Now he's a fucking crackhead. Guys, he doesn't have Tourette's. He smokes crack, okay? We're not the same. That makes it infinitely more sense than random Redditors calling CPS. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't, you fucking weird, degenerate fucking freaks. It absolutely fucking doesn't. No, your headcanon cope response does not make more sense than a bunch of fucking self-insert freaks on Reddit watching a podcast and thinking that they need to become, and I don't even think, dude, I don't think it was even done with the kid's best interest. I don't think there was even a fucking moron on planet Earth who thought that fucking Ethan's kids really were getting ill from eating dog shit. I think this was done maliciously to fucking, like, smear the family's image. And I think it was done maliciously to fucking inconvenience the family. 100% I don't buy for a second that there's a concerned fan in the audience who's fucking making a call. That's bullshit. I don't think anybody fucking believes that. They're selling you fucking snake oil. And then this deranged fucking freak wants to call into the show. If this person calls in, I'll stream again on Monday. I don't care. I need to watch this. Apparently, this deranged freak wants to call in to H3 Podcast and have a fucking chat with him. Holy shit, dude. What a day. That you're on hard drugs and abusing prescription drugs. I'd love to call in and bear through your coughing and sniffing fits. Dude, holy shit. This isn't Jake Doolittle. This is Jake Do More. This is Jake Do a Whole Lot. Holy fuck, dude. As well as other gang stalking hallucinogens. Are the gang stalking hallucinogens like in the room with us right now? How much do you want to get? Like, best this person right here who's talking about drug abuse and abusing prescription drugs.
Orbiter, Nick DeOrio.
I would be willing to bet my left testicle that the doctor prescribed this person like a fucking cocktail of pills just to keep them alive. Like 15 different mood stabilizers that if you take them all the right way, they might just make it through another fucking day-night cycle. That's probably what we're dealing with here. We're dealing with somebody who needs like 15 over-the-counter medications just to survive. All right? And I think we should downsize, personally. Doctor was obviously a snorker. Oh, God. I'm a mandatory reporter as well, and I can say with personal experience, even being a part of her child care team often doesn't result in a CPS visit. Yeah, it does if you, I guess, impersonate somebody who is around there. Oh, God. You don't need you don't need knee surgery. You need a lobotomy, okay? I agree. I made my own post with the same sentiment. H3 stands just can't get it through their thick skulls. Jesus fucking Christ. Literally everyone's doing self-reporting right now, admitting they'd hear about the concerning shit like unsafe living conditions and not do anything about it. What an insane cope. Ethan's latest story calling out the snarkers who abuse CPS reporting system. We covered this earlier. Denims is currently claiming on stream the kid caught Jardia from eating shit. Clip it. She has clips disabled, but there are tools to download full VODs. I never went to Snark before, the new Snark either, but this whole CPS thing crossed the line and it shouldn't have been crossed. Again, like, if you're trying to argue that there's no site-wide thing going on right now that's like causing these people to get fucking harassed, right? If you're trying to argue that there's no like backdoor Reddit shit that's keeping this thing going, you kind of start to like shoot yourself in the foot by letting your subreddit host the CPS stuff without taking it down, because you're kind of making his argument for him. I posted this one. This is not really super relevant to the segment, but I guess H3H3 subreddit posted my video, and I didn't realize that when I made this, Amaranth survived a home invasion, quote, Ethan Klein's doxing allegations. I didn't realize that it was written in such a manner where it implied that Ethan was the armed shooter inside of Amaranth's house. So I have since changed that. I have since gone out of my way to make sure that people aren't getting... I thought I would just put the second segment in there because it's like a 2-segment video. I smashed them together. But it sounds like Ethan Klein shot up Amaranth's house. So I went out of my way to make sure that nobody makes that mistake. This one, this is interesting. This is the one Hassan little debacle for today. I've had a firm commitment to letting fan channels use my IP free of DMCA and monetize for years. Fan have paid their tuitions.
What's the name of the guy, Keemstar Orbiter? Nick DeOrio. Mr. Oreo.
Essentially what's happening here is videos of Hassan's violent rhetoric are getting fucking struck for community guidelines on YouTube. And Hassan's like, no! YouTube, you're not in my pocket! You gotta save my boys! And he's realizing right now that if he ever actually does get fucking banned from Twitch, or if something ever actually happens to that platform, he's gonna have to tone it down because he doesn't have his own little, he doesn't have his own lefty-centric kick platform that won't ban him for anything. He doesn't have his little, his communist rumble over at twitch.tv that just allows you to go and say whatever you want, platforming fucking terrorists whenever you want to. He'll have to come back down to earth and live with the rest of us mortals if he ends up having to come to YouTube. Womp womp. Yeah, womp womp indeed, chat. Womp fucking womp. All right, chat. That's about all we got with Denims and Ethan and fucking and Ian. I think we're about done with that segment. There is something that I do want to cover before we get into the rest of the named topics today. Where is the fucking the Shelbo? Give me my boy. Where's my